Hello, welcome to the Greater Fort Walton Beach Chamber of Commerce Business Forum for April. I'm Martin Owen. Today we have beauty in the form of Jennifer Ward from Posh Daisy, culture with Tisha Maraj from the Emerald Coast Convention Centre and David Baxter from One Feather American Indian Art, who are here to talk about musical echoes. And I've got to read this off the pad down here. And we've also got uncategorizical, if that's a word, Chris Seaman, owner of, amongst other things, the world famous Hellenbach.
It would be a none of the above.
Yeah, welcome, Chris.
Thanks,
good to see you. Chris is the entrepreneur extraordinaire, owner, creator, and head of mayhem at Hellenbach, Stinky's Fish Camp in Navarre, and he's also an annual chamber sponsor. How did you start Hellenbach?
Desperation to feed the family. How about that? I've been in the Martin, I've been in the restaurant business since I was 13. My dad dropped me off and said, "You're washing dishes." And I moved here 20 years ago next month, or the beginning of this summer. I've just became a bartender and stayed with it and wanted to own my own bar. And Hellenbach kind of came out of literally had desperation. And I got, I guess, right time, right place. Willing to work every day and every night, and it took off. Came up with a name after a long, crazy night of work and many hours of work, and the name came to me. And
well, that's how the best marketing ideas come out, isn't it?
Usually,
after a couple of crates of Guinness or something.
There was it was quite a few beverages involved there, and it was you know, the pizza kind of came along, and perfect timing on that as well. And I give a lot of credit to my staff. I've got some great people working for me, and they've kind of bought into the concept to help me maintain it and help it grow. And it's turned into, you know, what it's become, where I've got a few stores that have opened up recently and looking to do more. And
how many Hellenbachs are there?
Number 5 opens in the airport any day. I've got most all my equipment in there, and we'll be working on a grand opening, I think, on the 26th of this month.
Mm-hmm. I plan to be there.
In conjunction with the bell ceremony. Mm-hmm. I think our governor is coming to visit. I keep telling everybody he's coming for the Hellenbach grand opening. But somehow there's a bell we're honoring as well that's far more important than Hellenbach. And but that'll be number 5. Pensacola opened last fall, and Navarre 2 years ago, as well as Crestview.
Okay. And the one at the airport, now I had a look, had a sneak peek at what's going on there. And it's on both sides of the airport. It's landside and airside. Correct.
And I got to give Mr. Donovan, executive of the year that he is, a lot of props. Him and his team have done a spectacular job. They have built a beautiful facility in there for me. And it is on both sides. There is a very unique Lazy Susan, for a more layman's term, and what they have some TSA designated term for this device, patent pending, somebody's creation that allows me to pass food from the secure side to the non-secure side. I can't go back, but it allows for them to have the restaurant and the bar facilities on both sides of the TSA wall. So if you're waiting on a flight, or you can relax for a while and watch the ball game, have something to eat and drink. And likewise, if you're coming in and picking somebody up, you want to be there early now.
It's really cool because there's this frosted glass wall, and the food comes through it, which is great.
Yes, and I hope it's great. I think the plan is going to work very well, and it's, like I said, it's a great facility. So
well, it reminds me, when I was in my early 20s and teenagers back in the old country, back in England. We'd go to a club or something in London, and then on the way back to the countryside, it's what should we do now?
Right.
Well, let's go to Heathrow Airport and have a coffee or a drink or something. Right. So it's going to be the same sort of thing. People are going to be saying, let's go out to VPS and.
Well, the old airport there was, and back in the old days before security issues became what they were, our airport was one of those spots that had a cool little bar in there. Mm-hmm. And I know the crew running the airport have that desire. They want people to be able to say, hey, it's the end of the long day. If you're coming from the north side of the county or on your way home before you head up towards Crestview, if you want to grab something to eat, that's the idea. You'll be able to pull in there and grab a pizza, grab a sandwich or something. I'm going to have some other items that aren't normally on my other locations' menus that are going to be specific to the airport. So they're hoping people will want to come in, and of course I'll have it set up if you want to watch a ball game. I'm going to have it set up like I have every other Hellenbach, where you can watch every game on a high definition flat screen TV, the latest greatest TVs that I can buy, And so it'll be.
Are we going to have some rugby matches up?
I will put some rugby on for you. I will do that, and the other football. I do get some requests for that quite often.
I'm not into soccer.
I know you're not, but we get a lot of. It's a military town, so we get a lot of Brits that like to come in and do some training at Hurlburt Field. They have educated me well, and they come in at odd times to watch football, usually at like 9 in the morning.
That'll be Brits, odd times.
Yeah, odd times, and so I get a lot of that. So it'll be a little easier to do that at the airport.
Well, we had this thing about rugby. It's play rugby, give blood. It's the thing to do. So we'll do that.
Judging by some of those guys in my bar, I get that. I see that.
So where does the Hell and Back empire go now? What's coming up?
Franchises are available. Whoever picks up the phone and calls me and wants to do something, if I can make it work within where I can be. I certainly put a lot of miles on my car as it is. I don't mind. That's my office, so I do a lot of driving around and work that around my kids and what they want to do. And but I'm looking for other ideas. We just reopened the new restaurant in Navarre, so we've made that change. So that's added to the itinerary, and we'll see.
And how about Crab Island?
How about Crab Island? It's there and waiting, as much as I'd like to take a break from it, I think that's probably the craziest, most successful promotion I've ever thought of. And honestly, I have a lot of fun, and my staff has a lot of fun. It's more of a reward to my employees and some of my better customers that want to come in or go out to Crab Island and enjoy the day. And then that turned into, hey, let's find something to do. So along comes the wiffle ball for the kids, and of course the now infamous chicken fights, and nationally known chicken fights now. And so as soon as my boat's out in the water, be a couple weeks, we'll get started.
Sounds really good.
As long as the weather in the water is held up like it has all spring, I can't wait.
Well, we were talking before about a group of European tour operators and travel agents coming into the country, and we're going to show them the area. And one of the things that came up was we have to take them to Crab Island.
I would love to host them.
It's going to be incredible.
That would be a lot of fun.
So you spread now from Navarre with Stinkies, and then all the way down to Crestview and.
Yeah, the Crestview store and the bowling center, Shoal River Lanes, been doing very well up there. And then, of course, we opened the store downtown Pensacola, which in conjunction with the Blue Wall, whose baseball season is already off to a pretty good start over there. But the big deal for me right now is Navarre. It's been very busy out there. We opened Stinky's Fish Camp. I give a lot of credit to Chef Jim Richard and his team from out at 30A. He was one of the first chefs I ever worked for when I moved here 20 years ago. And we became buddies. We've kind of stayed in touch. And then when I rebooted the restaurant, that's the first guy I called. He looked at my building, loved it. And so far, a couple months into it, it's been absolutely spectacular. Food is amazing. And I'm a restaurant guy. And I'm not just saying that because it's my place, but he's one of the better chefs that I've ever worked with, for eating his food, whatever you want to say. Right. He does a great job. And they're very he treats food like art. And I eat food like it's art.
I've heard. And it's been a good season so far.
Man, it's been the weather has been very helpful. The people of Navarre have responded to it very well, and I couldn't have asked for a better beginning to a restaurant.
Good. Thank you, Chris. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Martin, my pleasure entirely.
And come back after the break. We've got Jennifer Ward from Posh Daisy. Don't go anywhere.